Caroline Bennett stood calmly to one side, just as the flight attendant had instructed. She didn't raise her voice or argue, merely nodding politely and stepping aside. Unbeknownst to the airline staff, this simple, quiet woman in the navy blue cardigan was poised to change their entire company's trajectory within the next 24 hours. Caroline Bennett was accustomed to remaining unnoticed. At 39, she had built a formidable reputation as one of the most astute financial strategists in New York City. Despite her success, she intentionally maintained a low profile. Her straight brown hair reached just below her shoulders, her face untouched by excessive makeup, and her attire always simple yet elegant, epitomized by today's navy cardigan. Ms. Bennett, the board has confirmed tomorrow's meeting. All key stakeholders will be present. Her assistant Michael informed her softly through her discreet earpiece as Caroline navigated JFK Airport. "Thank you, Michael," Caroline responded quietly, maneuvering effortlessly through the busy terminal. "And what about the customer satisfaction reports?" "Initial findings are troubling," Michael replied cautiously. Caroline nodded thoughtfully. This was precisely the issue she'd come to assess personally. Pacific Sky Airlines had suffered a significant drop in customer satisfaction over recent months. As their third-largest shareholder, Caroline had advocated strongly for a mystery passenger program, aiming to personally experience the airline's service and pinpoint systemic failures. The board readily approved her idea, unaware that Caroline planned to become the first mystery passenger herself. At the premium check-in counter, Caroline presented her first-class ticket and ID. The agent glanced cursorily at her documents, fingers clicking mechanically over the keyboard. "Purpose of your travel?" "Business," Caroline replied succinctly, maintaining her discreet persona. "Gate 18A. Boarding in 45 minutes," the attendant announced without warmth. Caroline thanked her politely and moved towards security, carrying only essential items: a laptop, a small notebook for observations, and a change of clothing. After swiftly passing security, Caroline made her way to the Pacific Sky Premier Lounge, a place that once epitomized luxury but had reportedly declined significantly in service quality. As she presented her boarding pass, the lounge attendant's welcoming smile faded slightly upon assessing Caroline's simple attire. "Welcome, Ms. Bennett," he offered hesitantly. Inside, Caroline noted several high-profile guests receiving immediate attention, while less conspicuous passengers were subtly ignored. She meticulously documented her observations: uneven service, clear understaffing, and noticeable preferential treatment. An hour later, Caroline approached Gate 18A for her short flight to Boston. She immediately observed a gate agent named Julia Sanders, sharply reprimanding an elderly passenger couple for mistakenly standing in the premium boarding queue. Yet moments later, Julia's demeanor softened considerably for a sharply dressed businessman. "First-class boarding, seat 2C," Caroline said politely when it was her turn. Julia looked skeptically at Caroline's attire. "Are you sure you're in the right line? This is first-class boarding." "Yes, seat 2C," Caroline reaffirmed calmly. Julia scrutinized her boarding pass, visibly skeptical. "Could you step aside? We need to verify something with your booking." "Is there an issue with my ticket?" Caroline asked softly. Julia impatiently waved her aside. "Just wait, please." Caroline noted the agent's dismissive tone and stepped back patiently, observing Julia waving through other passengers with minimal scrutiny. Several passengers subtly watched the interaction, some clearly unsettled. After waiting several minutes, Caroline gently approached again. "Excuse me, I believe my flight is boarding now." Julia barely acknowledged her. "We're verifying your booking. First class is usually reserved for certain passengers." Caroline remained calm. "My seat was confirmed this morning." Julia huffed, making a discreet call before approaching Caroline again. "We'll need to rebook you. There's been an overbooking. Economy seats are available now, or you can wait for a later first-class flight." "Interesting," Caroline responded. "I reserved this seat explicitly." "These things happen," Julia retorted dismissively. Caroline noticed another employee, flight attendant Nicole Walker, joining the conversation with an authoritative stance. "Please wait outside the boarding area," Nicole instructed firmly, gently guiding Caroline by the arm. Caroline calmly stepped back, politely asking for their employee numbers for her records. Though reluctant, Julia and Nicole eventually complied. clearly uncomfortable with Caroline's composed persistence. Sitting quietly nearby, Caroline messaged Michael discreetly. Move tomorrow's board meeting to 9 a.m. Notify legal. Reassigned to economy class, Caroline made careful notes about every interaction, every dismissive glance. Her mind meticulously planned her next moves. Arriving in Boston, Caroline reviewed damning evidence provided overnight by Michael, reports of systematic discrimination, and employee testimonials detailing troubling internal policies targeting passengers based on appearance. The next morning, in a sleek corporate conference room overlooking Boston's financial district, Caroline stood confidently before Pacific Sky's board. Wearing the same unassuming cardigan and pants, she addressed CEO Marcus Collins and Customer Experience Director Amanda Hayes. Ms. Hayes, does Pacific Sky Airlines endorse discriminating against passengers based on appearance? Caroline asked pointedly. Amanda looked stunned. Certainly not. Then explain this, Caroline said, calmly displaying footage captured at the gate, along with multiple documented incidents highlighting systemic discrimination. Stunned silence enveloped the room as Caroline detailed her experience, supported by compelling data and internal communications from Amanda explicitly promoting discriminatory practices. According to our shareholder agreement, Caroline articulated clearly, systematic discrimination is grounds for immediate executive dismissal and corporate restructuring. Legal representatives confirmed Caroline's position unequivocally. The board members shifted uncomfortably, clearly shocked. Effective immediately, Caroline concluded decisively. Amanda Hayes will step down. We'll implement an independent oversight committee and initiate a comprehensive anti-discrimination training program. Facing overwhelming evidence, the board unanimously agreed. CEO Marcus Collins offered no protest, recognizing the gravity of the situation. Within days, Pacific Sky Airlines publicly committed to transformative policies. Caroline observed noticeable improvements soon after, recognizing that true power came not from appearances, but from knowing precisely when to assert oneself decisively. Returning to JFK Airport days later, Caroline received markedly different treatment. Employees respectfully greeted her by name, a palpable shift in atmosphere clearly evident. Settling into her rightful first-class seat, Caroline reflected thoughtfully. True authority wasn't about overt displays of power, it was about the quiet, strategic timing of its revelation.